So, welcome to our mini workshop, our wisdom share that Nancy and I are going to be doing for the Cosmic Earth Weavers community today. And we are recording this so that we can share this wisdom with others and have that invitation for those that have not come into the community, this free, intuitive community, that you can come and join us if it feels aligned for us. So, today, it's Valentine's Day. I got to keep reminding myself that the month, we're in the middle of February already. It's Love Day in so many ways. And we wanted to come in to talk to you guys about numbers, numerology, but especially day numbers, and finding a lovely biorhythm of what our personal day numbers are and how we can work with this and how we can set this up on our calendars, our personal calendars, so we can track that and feel what our rhythms feel like. So here on this beautiful day, on the 14th, the Wednesday, Nancy, what is the number and what is the cardology for
So
today?
today is a beautiful 6, and the cardology is the Jack of Diamonds.
A Jack of Diamonds, which just reminds me, that's my partner's sun card, the Jack of Diamonds. I'm like, oh, and that beautiful 6 energy today, perfect for Valentine's Day. And you're like, why, Roberta? Why? If you don't know, we're going to tell you why. And maybe a 6 is actually your personal day. So thank you for that, because I knew you would have that right up, because Nancy posts every day on her Instagram account for sure. Willow Coaching. Did I get that one
Yeah,
right?
Willow
Yeah.
Tree. Yeah.
Willow Tree Coaching. And she does these beautiful spreads, daily posts with what that cardology is, what the day number is, the date, and an oil and
Yep.
crystal that goes with it. So she does these beautiful little posts every day. So you want to keep track with Nancy. Because some days, if I haven't gotten to my calendar and I'm starting to lose what the cardology day is, because that one needs some focus, I'll just go on over to Nancy's Instagram account and go, oh, Nancy's got it. There it is. But it's always nice to have these in calendars and that too. So, Nancy, obviously you work with these daily. We talk about it in our forecast, our readings that we do for everybody, and especially in this community. Um, why do you like working with, let's just focus on obviously today, the day numbers. What's the day numbers doing for you?
For me personally, I just really love that it gives me that essence, that feel of what energy can potentially be present for us on that day, right? So it's like, let's use today as an example with that 6, right? If we want to be fully present in that energy, like it's think about the number 6. And before I tell you what it means, what does that mean to you? Like when you think of the number 6, like how does that feel? For me, I feel that roundness, that support, that harmony and that flow. It feels like a warm hug to me, right? Like there's balance. Like if we were going to look at the number 6 on a card, like a playing card, you'd see that there's always the 2 rows of 3. So that feels like balance and giving and receiving. Like I just really feel this loveliness. So the reason I like to know the day energy is because it really helps me when I tune into that number personally, and obviously listen to numerologists and all the tools and resources that we've learned. It's like, yes, okay, where can I fine tune and pay attention to the energy around me and those messages that I'm receiving? It like those numbers just become so much more apparent. um, I personally find that I can tune into my intuition, into myself more clearly when I just have that awareness. It's also a lot of fun. You guys know me, I do love everything to be fun. And my kids and I like really love to just like tune into the numbers and play with them and notice them, like, more and more daily, in social media feeds, conversations. I'm noticing and hearing people seeing numbers more, right? And having fun with it. And yes, we can always go to Google and be like, hey, what does that mean? But before we ever do any of those things, tune into yourself. And so that's what I do with my kids when they see like a fun number. Our family's favorite sequence right now is 1, 2, 3, 4. So like if you follow me on Instagram, you'll always see me screenshotting the 1, 2, 3, 4, right? But I'm like, okay, Jason, my husband, why is that fun for you? Like I know what it means to me, right? But so all of this to say, like, also there is plus like the high side or and the lower side or the I don't like good and bad. Even high and low doesn't feel right to
Yeah,
me, but
empowered and
disempowered.
disempowered,
Those are
or
the words I'm
the
looking for
light,
this morning.
the light,
Light,
the
yes,
shadow.
totally. Right. So everything has a duality, right? That is part of life, right? And so, okay, like on what's on the other side of that, and just being aware of where that is coming up, and maybe where you need to shed more light, more love on for yourself. Valentine's Day, this loving day, right? Like, where can you love yourself more in your shadow? And all of those things are available to us through the numbers. Yeah.
Perfect. I mean, so much fullness and excitement in that, right? We love, I mean, working with numbers are so much fun. And though we could do a workshop even getting into your ruling numbers, which and Maria's here and she's like, I'm a ruling 6. So she really feels that embodiment because that's her life path number that she walks with. Mine's a 5, so is Nancy's. Um, Maria, tell us what your day number is. And we're going to tell you guys how to figure this out, just so you know. My day number is an 8. And Nancy, yours is a 2. Yeah, 2. I try to keep everybody's there, but I can't. I did pretty good with that one.
Totally.
So I work with like I know like when I land on an 8 day, that connection and that feel, and I'm tapping into what that 8 is for me. We're going to go into the energetics of from 1 to 9, 1 to 9. But knowing my 8, knowing how that feels when an 8 day comes up, and how I naturally work and am in alignment with the sacred rhythm of that and the essence and energy, and the days that might feel I might not actually be as in that frequency, and I can look around and understand, well, how do I nurture myself and meet this day? And obviously Nancy will do those things too. Maria is saying her day number is 7. So that's 7. Oh, that lovely 7. Okay. So Maria, if you have the time, I know you're multitasking with kids and that too. Tell us a little essence of a 7 for you. And as a because we don't want to, Nancy's got to go on kids class trips here in probably 30 minutes or so. So we want to make sure we get everything in as much as possible. So where did we start? Day numbers. Okay. You heard me say 1 to 9. Why 1 to 9? That's how we will calculate the sequence that we run through all the time from every day. It's a 1 through a 9, and then it goes back to the 1 to the 9, back to the 1 through to the 9. Always doing that. It will always shift. So just because this year it's a 6 on February 14th, next year it will be different. And we're calculating a certain thing in a certain way. So let's just maybe, Nancy, do you want to talk about the calendar calculation before we go into them and their calculation and the energetics?
Absolutely. So, so how did I just discover that today was a 6 energy? Did I just pick this out of the air? I no. So it's a very simple calculation. What we do is we take the date and we add up the numbers, and then we reduce them down until we get one single digit number. So today, February, is 2, and the 14th, so plus 1 plus 4 plus 2024. So we already know that 2024 is an 8 because we've done this many times this year. But if you didn't, it would be 2 plus 2 plus 4, 8, right? So then the 8 plus, my fingers are not matching my words.
Okay, I need to pause you because you've
Yeah,
even, my brain's going, I need a
here,
different day. I need, even though I know how I do it,
right.
uh, I need, because maybe other people have a brain like mine that's processing.
Where's my pen?
You're going to get your pen and paper and you're going to step by step. So, because every year, you've heard us talk about the year is an 8, right? That's 2000. 24, we add the 2 plus the 0, which is 0, right? Like nothing. So, and then plus the 2 plus the 4, and we, of course, get the 8. Every month, we're going to add what that month number is. So we have the 8 already, and January is the first month. So what we did, obviously, we added that 1 to it. So January is a 9 month. You probably heard us say this. This month, what happens? We got to that 9, of course, when we add all that up for the February, the second month with that, we come down to be going to the 1. Did that make sense for the month? So the year, 8 plus the month 2, we get the 10, which break it down to a 1. So this is a 1 energy month. And I like to take the day, so the 14th, 1 plus 4 is 5, and it's a 1 energy month. So as long as I know what month number I am, I just got to add it to the day number. That's how I do it. So 1 plus 4 was 5, and it's a 1 energy month. We add the other one, we get the 6. How are you calculating it in that step by step? And she's got her pen and paper, so it's going to be.
Yeah, but it's not showing up on the screen. Um, so so that we don't have, so that you can just pick any day and not even have to have known what the year or the month is. I just like to be able to go, okay, here's the date. So 2/14/2024, add each of those numbers, right? So 2 plus 1 plus 4 plus 2 plus, so sometimes you might need a calculator, plus 2, skip the 0, plus the 4, right? So if you were doing this for your own date of birth or whatever, like just that's, so adding all the numbers together, then we get 15. So when you add all of those numbers together, and then to reduce it down to a single digit, it's 5 plus 1, which gives you your 6.
So our very air-oriented individuals on this call, and visuals that can bring that up into that mind log palace, you probably just got all that. And for those of you that really need it, Nancy, do you see us you're on your phone, so you probably can't go into the group?
I'm on the computer and I'm going to put out what I did on the phone in the chat.
Thank you. We're going to type it out in the thing. So there's a visual on that, the plus, the adding, because I know myself when I'm multitasking a lot of things, I can't always hold that too in my brain to see it. And sometimes I need to visually see it, as Char's like, visual, please, visual, which I love that. So she's going to pop that in there. And I saw Maria said that, her 7, what the 7 feels for her. She said, the 7 for me is motion, movement, getting stuff done, trusting the intuition more deeply. She goes, I usually push myself a little more in the gym on the 7 days, and do have a few more of those, a week. I think I know what you mean by that. So her essence of it, like, it's bright, it's movement, there's lots that gets done in there. And I know for my 8, I feel the same way, like my 8 day, so the very next day, and I actually start feeling it on the 7 rising. And you may, once we get these numbers down in knowing what yours is for that and what day it is, you'll be able to start to gauge what the numbers around you feel like, the ones that feel really far from you. But I know my 8 starts getting like ramped up. Like I get a lot done on my 8 energy days, and I feel bright and excited and all the things. Like it just empowers me so much on my personal days. And Maria's like, yeah, her 7 days like kick ass, right? You get shit done. And the essence of that intuition's heightened and everything. And I find for my 8, it's like I step more into my purpose and getting things done and the flow. So as Nancy's doing all the typing and all these added things, I'm going to talk about how do you figure out what your day is. Let's get to that. So what you're doing is taking your birthday, the day, your number of that day. So for me, I'm January 8th. Nice and simple for me. because it's just 8. I'm not doing anything. It's already set. The single number for me, 8. But if your birthday was January 18th, you would go to your 18. So you're doing your 1 plus your 8 equals 9. So your day is a 9 energy day. Nancy, she's August 20th. So she's got that 2 and the 0, which then just comes down to obviously the 2. So her day is 2 energy day. Maria, if you have time, what is your date that brings you to your 7? Are you right on the 7? You might have already answered that for me somewhere, but if not, you feel free if you want to put your example in there. So everybody else that's here, because we have quite a few people, pop that in. Like, what is your date then? Like, 20th goes down to the 2. If it's on the 11th, 1 plus 2. You or sorry, 11th, 1 plus 1 is 2. Let me add that up properly. Today, what the 1 plus 4 would be 5. But as you know, we said today is a 6 day, right? So it's, like blah, 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 blah. Today would be if your birthday's today, which Susan, I don't know, I don't think Susan's here because she's probably working. Susan, who's coming to Ireland with me, who's in this community, her birthday's today. And so her day is a 5 energy day. So throw that in if Paula, yes, no, what is Paula, your side, your mine is 10/16 equal 8. So
7.
your 16th.
She's trying to add the October in. You
Yeah,
just want to look at 16.
yeah. So October 16th is what I see here. And you just want your 16. So then that's 7, 1 plus 6 for you. And Shar, you're 3. Yeah. So you're just doing your 16th, not your month, literally the date, the day. Just that one. Oh, yes, she says. So Shar, obviously, yours is September 30th. So you just want that 30th. So that is just, it breaks down to just straight up 3 for you. Maria said her birthday is the 25th of October. So 25th is what we're looking at there. And so that's why she gets that 2 plus the 5 equals her 7 energy day. Beautiful. You guys are doing amazing. Marlene, she just had her birthday a few days ago on the 10th. So it's a 1 energy day. Your day is a 1 energy day. Julie, who hops on these calls a lot. Julie, your birthday was the same day as Marlene's. And so Julie, your day number is 1, 2. I know you'll get to this at some point. You'll hop in onto this call when you can. So you guys are doing good. You guys, so now that you put all the things, I want to see exactly, I want you to post in there right now in the comments, like my day number is, and just put it in there so you really have it. Let's see some of those coming up. So everybody has their day number and it breaks down to that 1 to 9. And every month, and I wish I had a calendar that I could pull up on the visual, but every day I have a big calendar here we can use. I go through my like in my classic planner that I use, I have it on the big calendars. I put in the day number and I put in the cardology, the card number. So that's like when you hear us say, like today is a Jack of Diamonds. So I also write that in this. And I have also written it here too. So you can see February here on this calendar. So I keep a nice clean date or clean example for me when I need to go to it. I have today, the 14th, it says there's the 6 and there's the Jack of Diamonds. We're not talking about the cards like those today or anything like that, but you obviously are hearing us talk a little bit about it, but we want to focus on the day energy. So what I do is I go to the start of, say, this month of February. Nancy has, I believe, written in somewhere, Nancy, you've typed in?
Yep.
Yeah, to the comments,
Yep.
a calculation of the month.
Yep.
Sounds like we had 2 different ways that we were coming to that number.
it's math in different ways.
a couple different ways. So
Yeah.
for me, I've already put my, I know it's a one energy month. So I actually remind myself it's a one energy month. I already know I'm in an 8 energy year all year long. All of us are this year. I also know I'm personally in an 8 number energy year. So I have that all running. But what I do is I remind myself of the month all month long. Yes, it's the second month of the year, but the number is a one energy month. So this month in February, we're getting that essence of big new beginnings and fresh starts, and let's go freaking let's get going now movement. And that kind of tells us how the energetic pace is going to be. And then I take, here's the first day, the one. So I'm just doing the one plus the one equals 2. So we started this month on a 2 day. And then once I get that first calculated number, I just then run it through up to the 9, and then I repeat down to the 1, and I go through to the end of the month. So we started on a 2 energy day, running through to the ninth, 9 energy, which happened to be on the 8th. And then we started on February the 9th back to a 1. Hopefully that makes sense. It would totally make sense if you get yourself out your calendar out and walk yourself through it. You'll be like, oh, you'll get it. You'll feel the rhythm. But that's how we calculate where the day energies are, because we need to know what the day energy is for this month, this year. Okay. And so as you run that through, then it's easy for us to go, what day is it? Like we've said, today is a 6 energy day. Tomorrow's going to be Maria's energy day of 7. And then on the 16th, on the Friday, it's going to be my 8 energy day. So and so and so is happening here. So Nancy, add in what you got.
So why don't we start talking about what each of the numbers
Yeah.
mean for everybody? So obvious. So the idea of having your personal energy along with the day energy is to see how you flow, how that day energy will feel a little bit different for me than for Roberta, for example. So even though today is that 6 that we talked about, I'm feeling it through the lens of a 2, whereas Roberta's feeling it through the lens of a 6. Sorry, 8. And so we just wanted to share with each of you guys what all of the different energies mean. Now, remembering at the beginning of the call when I was like, remember, tap in to yourself and feel what that energy feels like for you. And then what we're going to share with you now is just some universal understandings of these numbers and how they can play out for us on each of these days. So Roberta's shared a beautiful document with us right now, which is awesome. So you'll be able to see. So we're going to start with the personal day energy of a 1. And I unfortunately cannot read what she has there in this beautiful bright sunlight. But for me, a 1 feels like that spark, that newness, that taking that step forward. It's a little bit independent. You're here, you're like, so you might sometimes feel like with if you have that at 1 energy that you need to go it alone. That's not necessarily the choice case. Maybe you want to invite in others, but you do have that sense of independence and marching and moving forward. And other like one energy is a great energy to start things new, to have new perspectives, to see things differently. It can feel very freeing as well. Just be like, yes, like when you don't have to worry about everybody else and you're just worrying about you, that can be quite freeing. Roberta, did you have anything you wanted to add about the 1?
Yeah, the one, like in such a more, in a very simplistic, I think, we think and feel into 1, right? It's coming into ourselves, focus, new beginning, right? That new cycle that's starting, the fresh new journey through all the numbers through the week. Like it's always that new beginning, but it's also reminding us to come into self, return back home, fresh and anew energy. And so we feel into what a 1 feels like for you, because intuitively, there's, everybody can have different thoughts and feelings, but about each number, but it's like, what does it feel like for you? And especially if this is your day, Mar, this is your day, the one. What is that? What is that frequency? And do you feel the newness and freshness? Do you feel that on your one energy day, like you're ready to start anew and that you've centered back into yourself? It's letting go of the cycle that we just walked through of 9 days. And so it's coming back in and starting and moving forward. So that's, always like with the one, it's like, breath, a fresh new breath. Here we go. Yeah.
Amazing.
So
So then if we
two,
want,
yeah, two. Do you want to go, Nancy?
oh, nope, sure. So just with that two energy, I was like, oh me, but right, two really wants to help us to deepen our intuition, our connection to ourself, our connection to our own inner knowing. And it really also helps us to understand and to relate to others more. So using that energy to be aware of our surroundings, to tune into all of our intuitive gifts, to be able to feel what it is that's around us. Um, it's remembering that your intuition is a gift, and also that you are a reliable, supportive person. Like you were holding that energy for the collective as well, but also remembering that you're holding it for yourself. So be supportive of yourself. Rely on yourself. Don't give everything out to everybody else all the
Yeah. And I just want to add, Mar, she said, like with her one energy, she's like, it feels like a Monday. So yeah,
time. Right.
wherever it lands in the week, when you hit your day, it could feel like you're like, I'm starting fresh. I'm starting, it feels like a Monday for me, right? It's that energy. Like, so I love that, especially with the one energy. Like, it's Monday. I'm starting fresh and new. Um, and our two, yeah, I always think that too, the partnerships coming together, that we start exploring outwards with relationships, but relationship with ourselves, harmony, the balance that is seeking in a two, how we will start to look outwards and partnerships and how we're communicating and the closest people also around us on those days. That too has, the intuition is heightened. I believe, Nancy, you said that like things start getting heightened for us. Um, it's a beautiful day to, and this is how because I didn't talk about this. How do I use it other than my personal rhythm day? I look at the calendar, and for certain things that I want to run or plan business or do, I will look at the energetics day. So two energy is great for doing something with your partner or collaboration days. Or that you really want to like sit in channeling and commune with even divine or your guides, like to work together. Like there's an essence in that. um and then me knowing how a two actually feels for me personally, even though I'm sitting over on an 8 day, being my, I don't know, like a higher frequency, or my landing day of the biorhythm, as I call it. So how it feels to me. Nancy obviously loves this because this is her 2 day, her 2 day, y'all. Um,
Mhm.
so that personal 3 day, 3 days, I mean, that number three. So I'm always coming back to the essence of the number. And right now we're talking on a day, but I come to the essence of that number, and a three, I think expansion. I always think Jupiter energy with three. I think and feel the abundance. I know on a three energy day for me, I feel very creative. I just want to create. Like there's just that extra energy that's supporting me. And there's so much that's coming in, just offering me blessings of various things in my life. And I feel like we just keep on going through our intuition, our the emotion, everything keeps on ramping up, ramping up, ramping up as we go through the day numbers. And what would you say a three for you is like? I just feel so much
Um,
abundance and creativity on those days.
yeah, playfulness, lightness, joyful expansion. Those are all, I mean, three is my favorite number, and it always has been since I was three, but there's just so much joy in a three to me. And yeah, I feel it very strongly. Sorry, I am also just really aware of the time. I've got about 5 minutes.
Yeah. So let's move to the four.
Yeah.
Give your
Yes.
reflection here on
So
the four.
for me, the four is that solid foundation, that grounded energy, that connection to the earth, a connection to yourself, grounded in your energy, building that strong foundation near the four walls. Um, it can feel, if you're on the disempowered side of it, you might feel a little bit boxed in, but really, when you shift that thinking and it's like, no, I'm building that solid foundation of what it is that I'm leaping off of and creating in this world.
Yeah. I find that 4 day is good for the new routines, the setting that new foundation, getting yourself organized. It's like putting those four legs down, like that beautiful table in, or just being so grounded and going, what do I need? And feeling more solid within that day. And the 5 energy day, Nancy?
Oh, both Roberta and I are fives. So just like that connection, that five lands in the heart space on the energy grid, which we can also talk about on another time, but just that connectedness to all. It's very compassionate, curious, want like the five wants to know change, it wants to know movement forward. Like it it's like, oh, what's going on with you over here and you over here, like it wants to connect with all of the other energies and support change and movement. So that's, if you've got things that you want to shift in your life, doing those the kind of things on a five energy day is amazing, to just be like, yes, okay, where am I willing to move forward and to expand?
Yeah, it's a choice point day, that 5, and it's sitting there kind of like in the middle, right? And it's very empathic, the 5s, so that energy and connection of feeling things on all directions around you. It is a beautiful day of choice, of change, of freedom, of what are you truly tapping into emotionally, also for yourself. What do you know? What are you feeling? Um, Adventure. Get out too, have some fun. Yeah. So moving to our 6 energy, Nancy.
It feels like home. It's that harmony that we talked about at the beginning, that warm embrace, that natural beauty, like looking around and um, feeling what is and honoring it, and just like holding that beautiful space.
When I think of the 6 energy, I always think of the Lovers card and tarot,
Mm, yes.
which is also kind of like a choice point kind of card. A decision has to be made, but there is that love, harmony, the nurturing, the home, um, the self-love, which is a beautiful why this year it's landing on our Valentine's Day, Day of Love. So we're really supported with all of that. And so when I think, yeah, I see that, especially Chris Ann's the Lover's card, right? I just, the red, the passion, what brings us alive and feels so soft and pleasurable, enjoyable in our lives. Yeah. Good day for relationship stuff, right? And romance and that too, obviously. And the 7 energy, we're getting there, Nancy.
So the seven really is asking you to trust. It wants to call you higher and to trust that all is working for your best favorite, like purpose. You're going forward with this purpose, and it's like taking that leap and belief. It really wants to connect you with your higher self, and to help you to reach for what it is that you want.
You know, 7, I love 7. That's one of my favorite numbers, along with a 3, a 7, and then we all have our numbers, right? That are our favorite. And 7, it's just like there's that spiritual teacher essence. Um, oh, that intuition, luck. There's luck, there's movement in that way for us. wanting us to grow and yeah, look at those lessons and what we're evolving to. And I always find it has a beautiful high energy to it. But you know, all these numbers do have a low side to help us move and give us that feedback of where we want to move back into a higher frequency alignment for ourselves that feels really good. And our 8 energy day, I'm going to start on that one because it's my
Yeah,
8.
totally.
So, you know, I always that 8, that flow, the essence of the 8, the movement. We're in an 8 energy this year. And it's like that stepping up from these growth and this learning of the journey through these numbers before here. And it is that what are you stepping in? What is your your mastery? What is the next step of self? How can you receive? There's lots of abundance and movement, and lots of things start rising through you to be in a more of a claiming it in an embodiment and letting it kind of that flow, that essence running through you. 8 for you, Nancy.
Um, that flow, that mastery,
Oh,
that surrendering and not pushing against, like letting yourself be carried where necessary and getting out of your own way.
hopefully you heard all that, guys. Nancy's starting to cut out a little
I was
bit.
like, oh, I'm
And she's going to the 9. Nancy's going to the 9. Tell me the 9, and then we're gonna set you free,
um,
girl.
it's like that. Okay, we've done all of these things. Now, what are we reading? What are we focusing on? What are we choosing? What do we want to let go of? What do we want to continue forward with? It's a really great day to take stock and be like, okay, I am done with this, or I want more of this. Like getting to be of choice. It really wants to support you in beginnings and in endings. And to trust that no matter what, your choice is the correct choice for you.
Yeah, beautiful, and I like, it's really highlighted about the ending, but preparing for that new beginning. That fresh next day is gonna be that one again, right? And looking at the responsibility, the taking it all in of the journey and who and where you've come to this point. So I know Nancy has to go. Nancy, set yourself free, and I will continue to wrap this
Thanks,
up. So
guys.
thank
Have a
you.
beautiful day.
See you. So I'm coming back just onto the full screen with you guys. Perfect. So yeah, that 9 energy, you know, it is the last number, right? Of the 1 to the 9. And if we think about a journey that we've moved through from the 1 all the way through all those stepping stones of the 1 to the 2 and all the way up, there is a growth, a journey through all of them that we all get to experience when they land on those days. We all get to go through it. And we get to that 9, and that nine's like, it's like taking stock. Where am I? It could be tying up loose ends. It's that what is going with me? What am I releasing? What have I learned about myself? Will I move and anchor and hold within myself from this journey, from this growth, as I move into that one energy on the following day? So I always like to see that we have a journey through all of them, this cycle of new beginning to the end. And it is a circle, and it is that evolving, always moving. And why we calculate our day number, our personal day number, is that we get to see how that day number, we get to really develop our relationship with that particular number, see how that number feels for us when we start playing and working with knowing what the days are, like having your calendar, everything written out of going, this is now, I know what number this is. And you play with it for a little while and you go, okay, today is a 1 energy day. Today is actually a 6 day, right? But if we were starting and it was a 1 energy day and you're really focusing on a full rhythm, cycle, a full cycle, Go, okay, well, what am I feeling? What's that one mean to me? And if it was your one energy personal day, like it is for Marlene, then she has a personal relationship. She's also noticing about that. And then we move through the two. And then, like, if you know your home place of your relationship, starting with whatever your personal number is, for example, Marlene has that one, then she would be like, well, how's it feeling that two to me? How's my energy the next day off of the one? And so forth. So every day we get to develop and feel into what those rhythms are, and as we get to know the numbers themselves, the essence of them, we can play with, okay, this number is giving me and offering this today. Am I feeling that? Am I connecting into it? Can I feel that essence of there? And you run through it a few times, like spend a month, go one cycle at a time, but spend like a four cycles just observing, because what you'll notice is how you do feel on other days. Like mine being my 8, I feel really good on my 8 day. And if I come up to a day and it's 8 day and I'm like, I'm maybe not as productive, or I feel more tired or exhausted or whatever, and it's like, oh, this isn't how I normally feel, and I'm not feeling as aligned to that frequency, I can go, well, what am I learning? Like, what is it? What do I need today? Is there another part or aspect of this? How do I come into more harmonic alignment, a biorhythm for myself? I've also learned, how does all those other days feel? But I notice myself that 7 starts really, like, I can feel the 7. I can feel the energy picking up to my 8. And then I can feel the energy, how it feels on the 9. Like 7, 8, 9. I can resonate within those. And then I notice how I feel different with my 1, the 2, 3. You've heard me say I really do love a 3. A 3 wants expansion and creativity. And I notice I'm really creative. I know those days are good for planning something, designing something, writing days, all those kind of things. So I look at that, and I also aligned, how I like to align it too here is, and you hear this if you follow myself and Nancy when we do um readings with our forecasts, I like to look at, like, where's that full moon? Where's that new moon? What energy day is it? And just noticing that, because then it's going to give me something else too to those energetics of full moons and new moons. Also, what is that month starting with? What kind of energy? And like this month, it started with a 2. Perfect for February, right? Um, and partnerships and harmony and that. And then it's ending on a 3 on leap year day, day the 29th. We get a 3. And so we get that creativity that's like there's so much moving and new ideas and thoughts and abundance as we leave this month too. So it gives you something else to the month, along with, say, astrology, and what's happening there. So as you play with this, and you, first thing, know your day, you know how to calculate it. Second thing, we have a couple ways you can calculate this, but get it in your books, on your calendar, so that you can align with it. Sorry, guys, I think someone might be knocking at the door here, but um, anyhow, that's how you want to start playing with it for yourself. Um, Maria, I know that you have been playing, I mean, into the numerology world for a while, like me and like Nancy, and you're off too, but um I love any input for anybody, whether Maria or anybody else that works with the numerology, how you find working with day numbers, for yourself, to share that with the rest of the community. And does anybody else have any questions? Those of you that are still here, anything that you just want some extra little clarity on about day numbers, knowing what yours is, and also knowing how you're organizing that onto your calendar. I'm just looking down here at any questions that in the comments. Of course, the comments are live in our Cosmic Earth Weavers group. I will be posting this over on my YouTube channel, so you can also do questions and that for those of you that might come across it there. I am more than happy to take some time and explain and answer any of those questions. And I just love starting, with this one, getting used to energies and numbers on our day-to-day basis, understanding what our personal number is, and going from there. I mean, there's so much and so many things that you could be going into with numbers, numerology, cardology. Um, this is a good, tangible, everyday way to start playing with these numbers. You guys are so welcome. So welcome. See some of you commenting there. And yeah, till next time, I hope you guys enjoyed this drop in, pop in workshop that Nancy and I have done for you. And if you missed it, last week we did what your big three in astrology are. So that is posted. It was posted in the Cosmic Earth Weavers community and also on my YouTube channel. So if you want to go have a look at that one. And if you guys have any thoughts or ideas of things that you hear me teach or talk about, and Nancy or anybody else in the group that you're like, I would like to know a little bit more about that, send us a message, drop us a line, a comment, and because we're here to share, grow, and learn together and support each other. So I hope you guys have a beautiful February 14th, whatever that means and feels like for you. May you find some nurturing and love and comfort in your day. And thank you so much for joining us today in our mini wisdom share workshop.